Well, guys, Mazda doesn't have any electric cars to sell. So what they've done is partnered with a Chinese car company, basically put the Mazda body shell on a Chinese EV, and it looks good. And they're selling it at a very cheap price. They've gotten 20,000 pre-orders. They're going to sell these around the world, many countries around the world. Very smart strategy from Mazda. It's a good looking car. Specifications aren't great, but definitely going to be a winner. I think this is going to sell extremely well. Here's why. There's two versions. Well, not two. There's actually more than two, but two sort of different types of car. There's an E-Rev and there's a fully electric car. I think this could be the best-selling car globally for Mazda within a couple of years' time. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. This new Mazda has just gone on sale in China. It is going to be a global car, Mazda have confirmed. Starts at, well, the electric version starts at 17,000 US dollars. The E-Rev starts at 16,000 US dollars. It's going to be targeting Europe. And, well, sources are saying North America. I don't know how they're going to send this to North America because of the, obviously, the taxes on Chinese EVs. Maybe they have some strategy of building them in Mexico or something. I haven't heard yet. But anyway, that's what people are saying. It's going to come to North America. Most likely, though, it'll be Europe, Southeast Asia, China, Australia, the UK, etc. that will get this vehicle. The EZ60, it comes in two versions, E-Rev and pure battery electric. The E-Rev pairs a 1.5 litre petrol engine, which works only as a generator. It does not push the car forward. It just generates power to recharge the battery. It has an electric motor as well, and it produces 190 kilowatt, which is 255 horsepower, and 350 newton meters of torque, which is 258 pound-feet. Not super powerful, but it's all you really need, let's be honest. There is a 31.7, so let's just say a 32 kilowatt hour LFP battery, providing 200 kilometers or 124 miles of CLTC range. Really, real world, you're looking at probably 160 kilometers of WLTP range, maybe 150. So probably about 95 miles of range. Combined petrol electric system extends the range though to 1,000 kilometers or 620 miles. Theoretically, that's CLTC though. Really, probably combined range might give you about 800 kilometers, which is still good. Charging speeds, not awesome, but better than a lot of models in this sector, 70 kilowatt DC charging. And remember, this is an affordable car. So I think at that affordability price, 16,000 US dollars, that's fair enough for 70 kilowatt. That means you can charge the battery from 30 to 80% in 25 minutes. I personally hate this statistic, 30 to 80%. It's ridiculous. Car manufacturers should not be using it, but they do. And I don't have any data for 10 to 80%. So sorry, I don't know. But anyway, that's what the charging speed is. The EV version, which is the only version you should consider, I think, because why not? The EV version is better for sure. Anyhow, that has 190 kilowatt, 255 horsepower, and it uses a much bigger battery. It's a 78 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery, 600 kilometers of range, CLTC. That's 373 miles. WLTP range will be approximately 500 kilometers. So about 310 miles of range, WLTP. As you can see, not a super efficient car, but I think for the price point, that's still pretty good. It has 150 kilowatt DC fast charging, certainly not quick enough in my opinion, but for the price, once again, pretty good. It can add 300 kilometers of range or 186 miles in 26 minutes. And also the EV does give us the 10 to 80% charge rate. 10 to 80% takes 40 minutes. So quite slow. It's definitely one of the slower charging EVs, but assuming it comes in at a similar price point to what it is in China, or maybe just like 10 to 20% more expensive, then it will undercut a lot of its rivals. And this is interesting in terms of its size, what it compares to. First of all, though, before we get to that, AC charging, which is important. It's 11 kilowatt. So not bad, but not great. 4 levels of regen braking are available, but I don't think it will have full one pedal driving like a Tesla Model Y. To be honest, not many cars actually do. Size, 4,850 millimeters. It's a tiny bit bigger than a Tesla Model Y or an Xpeng G6 or a Zeekr 7X. 191 inches long, 1,935 millimeters wide, 76 inches wide, and it is 1,620 millimeters tall. Yeah, so it's slightly longer, but slightly lower than a Model Y. Interior space will be similar to a Model Y, put it that way. To be honest, Mazda's packaging of their cars is absolutely horrendous. They have the worst packaging of any car manufacturer in the world, period. And I've studied this more than you can possibly know. I have spent many hours for many years trying to work out why Mazda's cars have so little interior space considering their external size. What you can be thankful for here, though, is that this is not really a Mazda. It looks like one, it looks great, but it's not really a Mazda. But anyway, interior space is probably going to be slightly smaller than a Tesla Model Y, considering, look at the dimensions, the bonnet length, etc. Anyhow, the weight is around 2,000 kilos, so approximately 4,500 pounds, which is reasonable for a battery pack of that size. The exterior has Mazda's latest Soul of Motion design language with a revised Mazda logo, slim LED headlights, full-width light bar, and 19 or 20-inch wheels. The 20-inch wheels, you get a bit less range than the 19s. Speaking of range, 500 kilometers, is that good enough for you guys? What do you think about that? Let us know if you think I think it's enough. But my personal EV right now, the Xpeng G6, has 570 kilometers of range. And there's some EVs coming out now with even more than that. So yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot available in this segment. It's a very tough segment. The toughest EV segment is this size. There's so many options. Interior and tech. Let's have a look at that. There is a massive 26.5-inch floating infotainment screen. It dominates the dashboard. It's the largest in its class. It has a 50-inch artificial reality heads-up display, which doesn't look 50 inches, but that's just how they measure them, and a groundbreaking 100-inch naked eye 3D heads-up display available in China as an option. I've never used a 100-inch naked eye 3D heads-up display. I'm curious to know what that would be like. I don't think it's going to be an option outside of China though anyway. Other highlights, there's a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster right in front of the driver. Honestly, with those heads-up displays, I don't think you'd bother looking at it. There's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 15-watt wireless phone charger, a premium 410-watt Harman Kardon 9-speaker sound system on the more expensive versions of this car, which is pretty good at this price point. Speaking of price point, what are the prices? Okay, $16,800 for the base E-Rev version. Base EV version is $19,000 US. And the most expensive version, the most expensive EV version with the most best speakers and best added features is $22,000 US. That's very, very cheap. Much cheaper than a Tesla Model Y. In fact, it's much cheaper than an Xpeng G6 even. Model Y price starts $13,000 more expensive than this car in China. So big difference. Market reaction. It got 10,000 pre-orders in 24 hours and 20,000 orders within 3 weeks. Mazda said that its orders have exceeded 40,000 units. So a lot of pre-orders for this car in China. But to be fair, there's actually quite a few brands that have gotten more than 100,000 pre-orders in China this year. Not really spectacular numbers. They're pretty good, but not spectacular. That said, I personally very much doubt the pre-order numbers from Chinese car makers. I believe that many of them are made up. And I've got evidence for that, and I'll do a video on that. But anyway, I actually think this is probably going to sell quite well. Good price. It looks good. The specs are not amazing, but at that price point, they're pretty good. Chang'an Mazda, they plan to export the EZ60 starting in 2026, rebadging it as the Mazda CX-6e in overseas markets with a combination of affordability, good price point, decent range, and really actually high-tech interior features. The EZ60 does give the Tesla Model Y, I mean, it does give Mazda a rival for the Tesla Model Y, even though in software and range, it's definitely not a rival. But it does mean Mazda should be able to price this lower than the Model Y, as they are in China, much lower for this car than in China. I mean, think about the base model. It's nearly half the price of a Model Y. I mean, imagine if this was 30% cheaper than a Model Y in the US, in Australia, in Europe. It would sell incredibly well. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. The Sydney EV International Motor Show. If you want to get a 50% discount on your tickets, all you got to do, click the link in the description and use the promotion code that's in the description. Just copy and paste that. Now, I should mention there's only 200 tickets available per day. So if you go to use the promo code and you can't get a ticket, wait till the next day. Don't wait until the day before the show to get your tickets, because otherwise you'll probably miss out on getting the 50% discount.